Well, it is back to school time for Hoosier students, and while testing for lead in schools' drinking water may not be top of mind for parents, a young Indiana company says it should be. Business of Health reporter Kylie Valletta is here with more. Kylie.
Thank you very much, Gary. Children are more vulnerable to lead than adults. It can cause lower IQs and slowed physical growth. The Flint lead crisis rang alarm bells nationwide, but there are no federal regulations that require schools to test for lead, and most states have also not created laws. Here in Indiana, public schools are not required to test for lead. Zionsville-based 120WaterAudit wants to help parents and school administrators who may be thirsty for answers. Erica Walker, Director of Environmental Policy and Programs at 120WaterAudit, joins me now to help us sort through this important topic. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We mentioned in the introduction that states are sort of left to figure this out on their own. So tell us how Indiana tackled the problem and what we found here in Indiana.
Yeah, that's right. So there are 14 states currently that require public schools to test for lead by law. And as you mentioned at the top of the segment, Indiana is not one of them. But our agencies aren't standing idly by. So the Indiana Finance Authority in 2017 offered voluntary testing assistance to all public schools. And that included the cost of sending out field teams to collect the samples, analyzing those samples, and then helping schools understand what the results meant and what they could do. During that program, about 50% of school districts participated. And about 60% of those had at least one fixture that had lead concentrations over 15 parts per billion. And that is the threshold that the US EPA uses to regulate water utilities. It's not a health-based standard. As you probably have heard, there's no safe level of lead. And to give you kind of a sense of what these concentrations mean, 1 part per billion would be the equivalent roughly of a drop of water in an Olympic-sized swimming pool. So these are really small concentrations, but the point is that we need to test drinking water in order to understand if there's a risk. And then it's really the simple choice of how do we get rid of the sources.
And so you mentioned that 50% of schools took advantage of this. So some schools may not have tested for a variety of reasons. Some may not have tested if they were afraid the remediation would have been really expensive. So that wasn't really what you found in this report though, right?
That's right. So the state agency ended up tracking remediation cost for each school that participated, or a subgroup rather of those that participated. And they found that on average, a school that replaced fixtures spent $550. And that represents sort of a range. So replacing a faucet, for example, might cost $200, while replacing a water cooler would be more expensive, something between $800 and maybe $1,200. So right, there are simple and sometimes low-cost solutions. So the fear of finding something shouldn't keep schools from testing. This is an environmental health risk, and providing clean water is certainly part of ensuring a safe environment for kids.
And tell us how your company really kind of comes alongside agencies, schools, to sort of help them wade through this complicated topic.
Right. So we're primarily a software company. So we have created a cloud-based software system, and we work directly with utilities, schools and daycares, public agencies to manage drinking water programs. We are in 12 different states, and our customers provide drinking water to over 4.5 million people. So specifically in the lead world, our cloud-based software is used to manage these drinking water programs, everything from taking down information about fixtures to tracking remediation. We also sell kits, so these would be the bottles that are used to take the samples, or pitcher filters, something that can be used as sort of a short-term remediation strategy. And then services as well. So we'll come alongside and we'll help with either sampling, reporting, just providing kind of the expertise that fuels the program.
So we have just a few seconds left, but to make this news you can use, what should parents do if they want to know if their school tested, and what can school administrators do?
Yep. So the first thing parents can do is say they care about this issue. So call your school district, see if they've tested. If they've not, encourage them to do so and to share the results. School administrators should definitely consider testing. Keep an eye out for the Indiana Finance Authority's program. They announced that they're going to be continuing it, so there may be some some assistance out there.
All right, thank you, Erica. Such an important topic.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Gary, back to you.